All right, so I stopped myself a little bit trying to use the house flipping calculator by Bigger Pockets. So, and I got a little stuck. So, originally, when I was trying to find a property, I found a decent property um, that would be worth the rehabbing investment. So, it's not these. Just give me 1 second here. I'll pull it up. And I got a little bit stumped because I realized that, well, looking at the comps, there wasn't much opportunity to sell it higher based on what the comps were selling for. So, although originally I thought that, well, I'm a little bit stumped because I can't find a good, I guess, margin, or because you need enough of a margin to, make it worth the rehab and then be able to sell it for the amount that the neighborhood is going for. And that itself, I thought, was a learning curve or something to actually look out for when you're doing your analysis. So initially I was like, well, I'm a little bit stumped, but then I was like, well, hold on. This is a learning curve. Let me put it in the experiment book, as we know. So basically, this property right now is 139,900. Um, Again, looking at multifamily homes. If I scroll down, Realtor.com has now some nice comps. Comps again are in a specific I guess, radius, a few miles away from the home. What are the similar properties selling for? And if you look here, or actually without even looking here, I think there should be a button that shows you what the median listing price is. So if the median listing price is 115,000 and this is selling already for 140,000, this is probably not a good example because it shows you that the highest I could probably sell it for is this much. And even when you have a look at these properties, um, there's this thing called what I understand is the appraisal. So you just have to understand that what neighborhood you're in, you'll only be able to sell it for so much higher than what the average is going for. So if you look at the average, it's more or less, again, around 115. So it also says a lot about the neighborhood if the homes are worth only this much. So I think that's important to think about getting steals in neighborhoods where the property values might all be in, like, let's say 200K, because then you can really have some margins to work with. From what I'm currently understanding. So although I was stumped, I'm trying to find a realistic example. I think that is part of the analysis to make sure, is this a good deal or not? Would you go into it? And so with that being said, I think I wouldn't want to necessarily uh, go into this if I was looking for someone to, uh, like a hard money lender, or money, borrowed from a private lender. Would it really be worth the time and money, because the profit margins wouldn't be as large? And I think not. Same case if I was wholesaling this. So I probably have to do a little bit more research and find the right neighborhood, which is why I've actually created a spreadsheet. Drag it on this screen. Always have double screens. It really helps me. I would have to find red being like really expensive, orange being reasonable, and I'm probably gonna update the other ones to um, green for, I guess, really, the steals, I guess. Or so I created this neighborhood, street, zip code, just to get an idea of. Again, I'm working in a Georgia area, so I want to get a better idea of what the neighborhoods are. This is like really expensive, which is probably harder to. Well, actually, it's not harder. I wouldn't put it, but wouldn't say it's harder. But depending on how much you can buy by cash, the more expensive, the more cash I have to put down. So maybe that's not what I'm looking for right away. However, a nice median like Druid Hills is supposed to be a good area. I'm going to continue to, I think, do more research on like what are the good areas, because you don't necessarily want to go in the areas that are going to be, you know, troublesome, just because you might renovate and have a really nice looking place, but the property value might not be able to go up as high because you're in a neighborhood and community that is pretty low. So it's only, it will be hard to even sell it for more, even no matter how much uh, work you put into the house or the home. So it's worth considering when you're thinking about profit margins, how much you actually want to increase the price by, and especially thinking about the neighborhood and the amount that people are able to afford. So with that being said, I think we'll get back to this, but I think it's worth noting that this is actually part of the process. That I wasn't really stumped. It's actually part of the searching process. You want to make sure that you have the right margins and you're picking a property that that is going to make sense for the bottom line. Always about the bottom line. All right, awesome. Put it in the books.